The U.S. State Secretary John Kerry has accused the Syrian government of an alleged chemical attack. The United Nations has not yet clarified on the issue, and Washington has beefed up its military presence in the eastern Mediterranean. But the south part of the world pledges for peace and humanitarian assistance for the Syrian people. The responsibility to protect civilians to justify a unilateral military intervention could lead to the abuse of peace and security, thus attacking precisely what it is supposed to be defended. Let's not add horrors to the horrors we have already suffered. An official statement by the Foreign Ministry of Argentina reads, strongly condemning Western intents to strike the Arab country.
Humanitarian aid to provide refugees with food, medicine, water would be important. The government of Argentina called for a humanitarian intervention to be led by the UN chief and the 15 members of the Security Council in Syria. But this possibility should be carefully addressed, as these interventions have many times paved the way for destabilizing and conspiratorial moves against governments.
Argentina has condemned the use of chemical weapons, demanding a convincing, clear, objective and impartial investigation. The administration of President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner has said that a strike would only increase the risks of humanitarian tragedy in the region.
It would definitely worsen the situation. The number of deaths would be multiplied. There are already 7 million refugees, and it would also inflame the region, leading to a regional catastrophe. Military intervention plans respond to the interests of the US and Europe against Russia, Syria's ally. Syria is a transit country for Iranian and Iraqi gas to Europe. Europe is actually trying to trace its own gas pipeline without the intervention of Russian companies through Syria. And furthermore, Al-Assad is Israel's enemy, and that is why the West has him in its sights.
Calls for an urgent redesign of the United Nations were renewed by the Argentine government this time, just like Fernández de Kirchner did only weeks ago when the South American country assumed the rotating presidency of the Security Council. We once more reiterate the concept that the United Nations will not be efficient where the powerful think that only the weak must abide by its resolutions, the Foreign Ministry said, and questioned the veto power of the 5 permanent members of the international body.
Al mismo tiempo, la presidenta ha hecho un llamado a una profunda reforma del sistema de Naciones Unidas, especialmente en el Consejo de Seguridad. Ha cuestionado, como lo han hecho también otros gobiernos latinoamericanos en esa reunión, el derecho de veto del que hacen uso y abuso.
Argentina has long insisted on its anti-veto position, setting the Malvinas Islands controversy with the United Kingdom as a leading example of how London continues to ignore more than 40 UN resolutions that urge both parties to hold sovereignty talks on the South Atlantic archipelago.
In its official statement, the Foreign Ministry also says all Latin American countries have made a strong appeal for a diplomatic action and rejected any unilateral military action by imperialist countries. Constanza Heller, Press TV, Buenos Aires.